fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask. Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome dung-eater, and Sir Gideon Othmere, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between. To stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
Hello everyone and welcome to my 100% completion series. My name is Survive, and in this series I will attempt to guide you through the whole game so that you won't miss anything. No Ashes of War, no sorcery, no incantation. Actually the aim is to get this, but also the weapons, all the armors, obviously according to the limitations, and carrying out all the quests. Now let's give a shot to this guy. And I will continue explaining later. GG. I wasn't expecting to win. Alright. So, I already started a series like this before. With the attempt indeed to make a sort of walkthrough, playthrough. I wasn't very satisfied with it, so I took it down from YouTube. And yeah, I'm starting all over again. Probably I will be able to go a little bit smoother, as this is gonna be the third time I kind of go through all the areas, or almost all the areas. In case you're curious, I've been beating the game, if you can say so. Or actually, the game beated me very hard, but that's another story. Already once, 150 hours, because I really tried to find every single secret, and I'm quite confident I wasn't that far.
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on her side. We found her here after all. One of her kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring. Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
So, while I go through the tutorial area, I will explain a little bit how I intend to have the series happening. First of all, I will go to areas when I'm supposed to go to those areas. I know that you can travel nearly almost everywhere in the world, or nearly, before even defeating the first boss, but that's not my intention. My intention is to go progressively through the whole game, while I get all what I need to get stronger, but not too strong. It was a mistake. Alright, actually I prefer it over here. I will also try to explain what I'm doing as I go on. Okay, right now I'm gonna jump down here. So do not expect an OP start, because this is not what I want to do with the game at all. Also for another reason, I want to challenge myself. In my previous playthrough, my first playthrough, I got quite overpowered without really cheating. As when you try to explore everything, you are going to actually get so many rooms that at one point you have to decide yourself to cap your XP. And that's what I did in my first playthrough. I capped myself around 120 and 130. I had 130, but just because I wanted to try some summonings that I barely used. On this topic, where is this bugger? I don't see him. On this topic, I want to use summonings very much. Can I do that? I have to do R2? Yeah. And this is going to be a battle mage, meaning that there is going to be a mix between melee and magics and spells from far. But I want to learn the patterns. I want to get good. That's also a get good playthrough, let's say. Now, I'll try to prepare my episodes, contrary from what I did in the previous my previous attempt for this series, so that the episodes go smoothly. I'll also try to not refer too much to previous experiences, and to give as many advices as I can. If you have any questions, if you think I missed anything in particular that I should be aware about, if you want to know how to get anything specific that I'm not covering in this guide, will repeat in a second what I'm covering. Please let me know in the comments, and I will be happy to address it or to go through it. Maybe quests, you have questions, and etc. I had many experienced some bugs with quests, or maybe there is one passage that might be particularly tricky. So let's see. And of course, like and subscribe. I am extremely small, and it helps the bug. I'm not any good at the game, by the way, or particularly good at the game. I just learned some, but I have to learn a lot. In my first playthrough, I had a pure strength build that carried me through almost the whole game. So, especially many bosses, I didn't really learn them, and the intention with this playthrough is going to be learning them. That said, I'm not planning to do much editing because I do not have time. This is just an hobby. I have a full-time job. It takes a lot of my time, plus a social life. Alright. So, welcome to day 1. Yet again, the scope of this series is to get all Ashes of War, all spells or incantations, doing all the quests, getting 39 achievements, getting all the weapons, ideally, whatever we can. Obviously, again, some things are stuck behind limitations that I will explain while I'm talking. You can't have everything in your first playthrough, but almost. All the legendaries for sure, anyway. As I did it already, yeah? And all armor sets. I will probably even grind some. Anyway, let's start with our first quest, which is Barre.
Oh yes, tarnished are we? Come to the lands between for the Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless, without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold. You are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity.
Whatever. So that's Barre, and this is Dora. Try to make her as close as possible. Alright, we'll talk again.
For you, however, there is one shining ray of hope for even the maidenless. Me, Vare. Take care to listen. Are you familiar with grace? The golden light that gives life to you, tarnished. You may also behold its golden rays, pointing in a particular direction at times. That is the guidance of grace, a path that a tarnished must travel. Indeed. Grace's guidance holds the answers. It will lead you, tarnished, to the path you... Even if it leads you...
Alright, so basically it's telling us that the Lost Graces, which is where they're sort of checkpoints, will point to where we're supposed to go. They're normally related to main story goals, but they're a little bit wonky. It's just a nice touch. That's a boss that we do not want to encounter now, and they put it there just to, you know, teach new players that you should take your time before going against bosses. And we are not gonna go against this guy. First thing we want to do is to go to the Church of Helle. I hope that was the right name. Helen, maybe? Helle. Maybe it's not pronounced like this, but... Alright, this is an anvil. You can upgrade your weapons here. I'm not going to upgrade this weapon over here. The stock is a very good weapon, but I personally don't like it. And let's talk to Santa Claus.
You're a tarnished. I can see it. And I can also see that you're not after my throat. Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale.
Alright, so here is where you can buy stuff. And the first thing you want to buy is the crafting kit. And we'll buy a torch. Just because we don't have any other source light at the moment. I'm skipping all the tutorial messages. I'm going to be your tutorial. And well, we don't have more money, so let's move on. When we come back, we will have some chats with this guy, but we already spent quite a lot of time chatting. Every time you encounter a lost grace, do not forget to activate it. Now, the first thing you want to do every time you are in a new unexplored area is to go to this spot over here and grab the map that it holds, because this spot always holds the map of the area. So this is the direction, and the game is already teaching us basic mechanics. They were already in the tutorial, but here we are implementing. This guy doesn't see us, we can backstep him, and that's it. So I'm going to show you as we progress how the critical attacks work. Our first, actually it's not our first shiny, we already got quite a few. But you have several types of critical attacks, and one of these is backstepping. You can crouch, but most of the time you can get away by even just walking, and then running you need a bit of good time. These are ruins. These are the first ruins we are going to encounter. Over there where there is the marker that I set, there is going to be the map. We do not really want to approach the fight like directly as any other Souls game. You want to try to take enemies one by one. So I could have lured that guy away, but before I'm gonna grab that Lost Grace. And rest. Alright. As a little tips, you may want to go around by night for several reasons. And we're gonna have a chat with Melina. I will watch cutscenes and dialogues, as I want to try to understand the story myself as well. I may brainstorm a little bit with you guys.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina. I offer you an accord. Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the Two Fingers, offering guidance and aid to the Tarnished. But you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree. Then it's settled. Summon me by grace to turn runes into strength. Another matter. I bequeath to you this ring. Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you. treat him with respect.
There we go. So what that means is that well, now we can level
Shall
up
I turn? Let my hand rest upon you.
at
Share them with
Lost
me.
Graces, alright? We do not have
Your
enough...
thoughts, your
in-
ambitions, the
Melina.
principles you would follow.
I'm talking Melina, please. I do not have enough runes right now, but this is what that means. So Melina is our Finger Maiden. Finger Maidens convert runes into strength. We don't have anything else to do, and it's already nighttime. Now, the reason why you want nighttime is because sometimes there are buffs that happen at nighttime. Perhaps now we have one. I'm not sure because I didn't grab that. So. Anyway, we're gonna clear the runes here. So at the beginning, in particular, try to go for backsteps like this. It's gonna make your life much easier. Obviously, depending on the class you picked at your start. Now, when you see this red cross, it means that you do not meet the requirement to handle a weapon. However, with strength, you can get 50% of the requirements by handing the weapon. As you can see at the bottom right, the cross is gone. At night, you are more. You can sneak better. By the way. So those runes now that we got here, we uncover, let's say, a marker on the map, and we know that those are actually runes. They're not random structures, let's say, around the map, right? Every time you see this marker on the map or runes are marked like as such, it means that there is a basement you can explore. Now we got the map, and by opening the map, I have a better idea of what the surroundings are. I will talk about how to look at clues on the map later as we progress. Now let's try to move on. As you can see, I'm one-shotting everything at the moment. Here there are dogs. Dogs are nasty, so be very careful. Now, as you may have noticed, I'm picking up materials as I go around. I think I'm gonna go for this guy next. And basically, I will actually show you next time it happens. One of my personal goals in this series is to improve my parries. So you're gonna see a lot of this. Now, oopsie. I'm gonna go for spells because there are two and I don't want to waste much time here. There we go. And this is also the idea of the series overall. I want a mix between spells and melee. There we go. There is already another Lost Grace, so we can see it from far. Right, so these butterflies are materials. And materials we can use for crafting before we go to the crafting kit. For instance, we can get food for Torrent that I didn't summon yet. But it's about the ring that Melina gave us. So you get so used to certain mechanics that it gets a little bit harder. Can I'm gonna get the dog. Don't. So dogs are annoying. Among the worst mobs in the game. Oh, I didn't have the shield equipped. There we go. When you see this white aura coming out from the enemy, it means that he dropped an item. Otherwise, oof, that was very close. Like this, there is no white or a white sort of soul coming out from the enemy, meaning that it will only drop runes. Well, okay, we can go on because now it dropped an item. Now the guy from before dropped actually his armor. Personally, I will go a lot for fashion, so I'm not gonna really equip everything that will give me better resistance. I like this fashion. I like it a lot starting, and it gives the idea of exploration. This is the basement I was talking about. So we're gonna stick with this one, but feel free to put whatever you want. Alright, so we get our first Ash of War and a whetstone knife, which allows us to apply the Ashes of War to our weapons, not to all of them, only those that are not like unique, when we sit at a Lost Grace. Alright, so there is this weapon left and we are done. Now the wiki says that there is another weapon over here I never found, so I really spent a bit of time looking around where the wiki says, but the wiki is still work in progress, I would say. Let's reflay. It has two high requirements in dexterity for us, so in case you're curious, I started as a prisoner. It's not the best starting class, but it's the best for what I want this character to be. Alright, so I'm gonna sit at the Lost Grace, check the time, and level up. I'm gonna first go for 20 vigor, except if I need anything particular for the upgrades. Now we summon our horse, we look at our map, and I will explain a little bit how to find clues before wrapping up the episode. Now, when you see holes like this, there are always caves. Caves are very important because they have upgrading materials. When you see these are always evergoals, where there are mini bosses, or similar markers indicate the towers. When you see such type of structures, those are always ruins, as you can see here, and once you get there, you get the marker. This is a telescope, you can look at it, I will actually do that now. You can use it to look at your surroundings. It's a neat feature, but it's pretty useless, to be fully honest.
Oi! You there? Could you...
It's funny, as we go up, we cannot actually hear the guy anymore. And that guy that was talking to us is Bok. We can go to him.
You? Yeah, you there? Stop pretending you can't see me.
And this will wrap up the episode. So you can, this is where the guy is. You can either attack or roll. I always roll because it's less likely that
What'd you go and do that
you
for?
accidentally make something you don't want to do, like attacking an NPC.
Oh, yes. I remember. Some clod turned me into a tree. You were just breaking the spell, weren't you? Thank you. The name's Bok. I was pushed out of the cave. Told not to come back. Not ever. Then I ended up as a tree. Lucky you came along, really. Oh, what a shame. When they threw me out of the cave, they took everything I owned. And so this is all I have to express my thanks. I hope you can forgive me. Or...
Mushrooms!
well, if I could sneak back into the cave and bring back something of actual value, then I'd be of some real use to you, I reckon. Right, I'm frightened of them. So I have to gather. My knees start knocking, just thinking about that god-awful cave on the shore.
Alright, so he told us there is a cave on the shore where he could go back to get stuff. The cave is somewhere around here, I think. I'm pretty confident it's here. We'll go there, but not just yet. For the moment, I just, if I didn't do that yet, show Torrent, our mount, a goat slash horse, and that's gonna be it for this episode. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye bye.